This is super cool today. I get a chance to do something that I only get a chance to do once a week. That's what hang out like live with Brant Collins. Brant, man, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing tonight?
I am working really hard to get all this stuff together. And I promise you that it's all of how I like to work. Like sometimes I just like the excitement of doing things.
Last minute?
You can say last minute. I can say
right.
at a critical time.
At a critical
Is
time.
that better? Does that
So you
sound better?
purposely put yourself against the wall just to test your skill level.
Well, it never works out because my skill level is not where it needs to be. But, I'll take it.
I think that you just stayed up too late with Kenny G. Is that right? You were partying with Kenny G?
Brother, let me tell you something. So for people that don't know, my wife is a jazz flutist. Her name is Kim Scott, and she's like really, really good in running up the charts with her music. And she had an opportunity to be opener for Kenny G here in Birmingham, and it was one of those things on her bucket list. So I was excited for her. I enjoyed it. But it was more the enjoyment of watching her have an opportunity to do it. And Kenny G was like, normally when you have people open in front of a big act, they really don't come out until it's their time to actually perform. I mean, they've been there, done that. They're not watching other performers, but he was on the stage watching the whole time.
I saw the picture, him watching. That was very impressive. So, I mean, kudos to her. That's pretty exciting. Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome.
And the crowd there, of course, it was a home crowd, but still, they responded to her really well. I mean, as soon as she hit the stage, they were going crazy for her. Anytime you get a crowd response like that, especially when you're home, you have something. So I'm excited about what's happening. And we have a few more dates, so we'll see how many more checks we can have on the bucket list for her. And,
that's awesome.
Yeah, man. Thanks for asking about that. How was your week?
Well, we are all excited to watch the Hogs, the Razorback basketball, the men's basketball team play in the Elite Eight. We thought we'd make it past Duke, but we were a little down last night. But the boys did a great job, so we had a good season. So we look forward to next year.
Hold on, Brant. You said we were a little down.
My wife's a huge fan, and I love basketball. I love watching basketball. I love watching the Razorbacks, and not a big football person like she is, but I do like the basketball, and we get kind of vested in, they're still 18, 19, 20-year-old young men, right? And they're just, on the biggest stage ever, right? So you feel for all of them. So
you do.
It's a lot of fun to watch.
That's cool. So I think that we have been running now consecutive weeks. We're probably week number 8. What do you think?
I think so.
And last year when we did this, of course, we actually did just 10-week segments. And I'm saying this for everybody that's watching the countdown right now. We're going to get caught in this vortex in just a minute, really a minute and 5 seconds.
Yep.
Now, and we're doing this. We want to be consistent for everybody. Instead of taking our seasonal breaks, we're just going to fly through this. We have several guests already lined up almost to the end of April, and we're continuing to build more and more people that are coming onto the show. So all of our folks that are normally here, we're so happy to have an opportunity to do this show and then to do it to help content creators like yourself. Our mission is really, really simple. We're here to help you succeed. So today I am really, really excited about the guest that we have because I had an opportunity to kind of sit with him on a show that Alicio did. And probably a year and a half ago now, and I just was really impressed with his knowledge and information of what content creators should be doing. So I have some questions, and I know he will have some great answers, Brant.
That's great. I think we're always looking for answers. Here we go. 2, 1.
There it is. Well,
Look at
welcome,
that.
everybody.
After all of these
Yeah.
shows, we finally didn't get caught by the countdown.
No, we didn't. I guess I kind of caught ourselves up to it, and we go to the next frame or the next scene, and we got our subscribe button. If you guys are not subscribed to the stream show, it's really simple. All right, the stream show. If you just search that inside of YouTube, guess what? You're gonna see Brant's pretty face. His pretty face, and of course you'll see me, and hit the subscription button and the bell for notifications every time we're live, which is Sunday nights, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. You get us, and you'll get a great guest that's going to give you information about how you can succeed as a content creator. That's why we are here. So that's why we're here. We want to help you. So that being said, Brant, we've all been working really hard with repurposing content throughout the week. We probably have a few more videos that we didn't release that we will be releasing from last week. How has that process been for you as we are repurposing for the stream show?
You know, it's always a challenge to go back and watch your shows and kind of critique what you're doing and try to pick out all the nuggets. But I'm really, really happy with Descript and using that tool. So hopefully that can make our jobs a lot easier. And, you know, it's sometimes I think for us, when you get done with it live, you're like, done. Whew, I'm done. Right?
Right.
But there's still a lot more work to do. That's one thing about being a content creator. You always have to keep on moving.
That is so true. That is so true. And keeping on moving, I want to move to this guest because I promise you, I'm going to take all the time that he's willing to give us with really getting information out of him for you today. So our guest has been a content creator for a while. He has had, I want to say, over 80,000 subscribers, and he's going to correct me with his subscriber list. And I'm not saying that to say that he has a lot of subscribers. I'm saying that he has put in the work over the years to build up his YouTube channel, and now we can hear how he did it and how we should be thinking about doing it for ourselves in 2022. Because I will tell you, I do feel like, Brant, things have changed, and if you're willing to move with the change of YouTube, how it works as a content creator, because I don't want to just throw the algorithm out there, because I think it takes a little work more than just, the computer system has got to pick me up. It's more than that. So today, without further ado, I want to bring him onto the stage so that we can grill him and he can help us. Dan Currier. Can you guys please give the warmest welcome to our guest today. Dan, thank you so very much for your willingness to come on and kind of hang out with the stream guys today as we talk through how we help content creators. And this is part of what you do as well. Am I right in saying that most of your business platform is based off of helping content creators?
Absolutely. Everything I do revolves around that.
I love it. I love it. So, I don't know if you remember or not, Dan, the night that me and you were on with Alicia Way. I think Shelly may have been on as well, but we had a chance to talk and to meet. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be honest with you, I was so very impressed. I was like, this guy knows what he's doing.
I try.
So that being said, in the last year and a half, like, what has happened as we kind of were in a pandemic, coming out of the pandemic? Has anything changed since then for you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, a lot has changed. Up until that point, I was solely focused on YouTube, and I have, other business projects that kind of revolve around that. But like a lot of people, there were times during the pandemic where I just really wasn't feeling content creation. It was hard to get that motivation. And then Amazon came along, and it proved to be a whole different world that I've tapped into in addition to YouTube. And it meant a new platform, getting to understand exactly how that platform is different, what they're looking for versus what YouTube is looking for.
Right.
And it provided a new spark, some excitement, and a different way to approach content creation. And it's really helped me kind kind of broaden the business that I've been doing since then. So, and it's been very rewarding on top of that. So, yeah, for sure. I'm somebody who likes keeping everything diverse and multiple revenue streams and different business ventures. So, it has been an evolution in the last a year and a half for sure.
Well, to actually say that, I wasn't going to talk about Amazon till later, and now you mention it, brother. That's one of those things that Brant and I have talked about for a long time, because we're sitting back saying, okay, like we see these content creators talk about Amazon and Amazon Live, but are people really being effective on that platform? And I'm sure there's tons of ways you can think about which platform works. I mean, nobody was thinking that YouTube and 2007 would be the YouTube of 2022, right? What's
sure.
your concept of why you decided to pivot and go that direction with Amazon Live?
So the interesting thing about Amazon is you can't just step up to Amazon and start making content. They have the Amazon Influencer Program, which means you have to have an established, account or following somewhere else on a different platform. I think now they have YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, and they just added TikTok. So you have to establish yourself as a content creator in order to be able to even look at Amazon. And you got to get approved for their influencer program. And then there's some other things that you can do to get approved and move up the ladder on the live side, or get what's called additional placement for making actual videos that you upload to Amazon. And that's where I focus most of my energy, the shoppable video side of that. But the cool thing about it is it's not open to everyone. You do have to be an established creator, and you got to go through the growing pains of learning how to be a content creator, develop enough of a following so that you can get approved to dip your toe in Amazon.
Now, Dan, are you doing those live, or are you doing the pre-recorded?
The majority, I have done some live, but when I was introduced to Amazon, I had everything else going on. So it was actually my brother who found Amazon shoppable video first, and we were blown away by what you could accomplish as compared to the time that you had to spend on it. So it was a really good trade-off for somebody who knew how to make content and understood what Amazon was trying to do with these videos, that you could really gain a lot of ground in far less time than it would take to make the equivalent number of YouTube videos, because they're looking for completely different things. So we just dove into Amazon Video and continued to work on that. As you become familiar with Amazon, you learn that live and video, I think, serve two very different purposes at this point in time. And at the time, my goal was not to build my brand on Amazon, where I think live is very, very powerful for that, establishing yourself as an Amazon influencer and all the things that come with that. For us, we were looking at developing an additional revenue stream. Since that time, I've started to formulate the plan of how I'm going to, go into live as well. But thus far, it's been the vast majority with the shoppable videos.
So do you forego all the work and effort you put into YouTube and now shift to Amazon, or are you using the same videos in both platforms? How are you approaching that?
So some people have done that and they have found some success. People who did like tech videos and stuff and actually had product videos on YouTube, they have repurposed their content and shown some success. My personal approach has been new videos strictly for Amazon. And for the first year, definitely, I shifted the majority of my attention to Amazon. And then I have been working to reincorporate YouTube and continue to keep YouTube moving. Luckily, I had some content that allowed YouTube to move without me every single week making content. But, YouTube ebbs and flows. That started to kind of to fade a little bit. So I've gotten back into pushing more content to YouTube, because we want everything to fire on all cylinders, and we want all of those to be successful. There is, every time a new year comes, especially as the year starts, there's a whole new batch of people who are just exploring YouTube for the first time, or want to learn how to make revenue with their existing channel, and we try to provide content that gives them those answers.
That is really cool. And I want to give a shout out really quick to Anna, who is watching, and she says, hello, Dan. Anna Gill is hanging out with us today. And I think that's really smart, and I knew from the last time, well, the time that we did a show together, and watching some of your content, I like that it's so different than some of the people that we passed in our community. Just your thought process to how you do content creation. I have not heard, Dan, I'm being honest with you, no one has said anything about uploading videos to Amazon. Am I right in saying that? Brant, like, have you heard anybody?
Yeah,
talk about
everybody's been talking about live in our
live
group,
streaming?
because live streaming.
Everybody.
I didn't know.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just going to say, everybody jumped on the live bandwagon, but because we were introduced to the shoppable videos first, and we saw that in the first 6 months, we went from, we started seeing revenue almost immediately, and then we started to approach nearly $10,000 a month doing shoppable videos, and the amount of time that you put in.
No, sir. No, sir. No.
Stop.
You can't.
That's
just
not every
drop-
month.
I understand. You can't just drop those kind of numbers and not give a little context to it. I mean, that's huge. We've heard that the numbers could easily be, 1 or 2% on items based on what you're selling, and that means you guys are really humping. And I know you said, you put it in context, said that's not every month, but that's still worth the attention. Does that make sense?
Oh, for sure. And so just in full disclosure, so from February of last year, I guess, so it's been just over a year. They refer to it as shipped revenue, which is how much Amazon gets for the stuff that people look at my videos and then go through. And that in that past, I guess it would be 13 months now, is $2.1 million. And when you consider that, you're getting 2 to 4% of that, so bringing in that additional revenue. And we've gotten to a point now where it's at least, $5,000 a month or whatever. And we have some, the holidays were bigger than that. I've heard amazing stories from people who are able to do this far better than I'm able to do it. And they have just had numbers that make me look like I just started the process.
Wow.
So absolutely just a ton of opportunity out there for people who want to understand how it works and, start to incorporate it into their process.
I think my failure is my math isn't very good or my vision isn't very big, even though I know the scale of the internet. When we talk about it, it's like, 2%, what's 2% of a $3 item or a $20 item? That's like, I had no idea you're pushing or moving $2 million worth of product.
Here's why it's different. So when you become an Amazon influencer, you can immediately upload videos to your influencer page. That's going to get some traffic. You can push people to that in the same way you do through affiliate links and whatnot. And I've done Amazon affiliate links, and maybe I cleared $200 on a good month. Just didn't push a lot of traffic. The game changer on Amazon is that once you get approved for additional placements of your videos, they actually display on the product pages. So instead of having to drive the traffic, you are dealing with the behemoth that is Amazon already driving traffic to a given product. Then somebody has a last minute question, or they're trying to make the purchasing decision. They watch your video. And if your video answers that question or gets them to go, okay, I'm going to click the buy button, then you're getting that 2 to 4%. You're not driving the traffic like you would with affiliate links. So it's huge. You think about the traffic that goes through Amazon, and there's just a ton of opportunity.
Now, I'm the first one that goes to those videos if I'm looking for just anything, right? A camera, a cow digit, my Microsoft or my wireless mouse from Logitech, whatever. I will click on the videos first because I want to see somebody use it, and it's usually, the people that aren't polished, that aren't whatever. It's just you want to see that kind of realistic, authentic video that's like, hey, I bought this, I love it, and that will change me to buy,
And that's that. One of the things that I talk about in my course for Amazon video is just that. It's like, we spend all this time on YouTube, and you look at like the amazing job you guys do with all the bells and whistles on this live stream, how sharp and awesome it looks. It's a different mindset. You kind of have to put away all your skills because you are simply trying to be relatable. You're trying to show what the average person does with this product in hand. And that's what people are looking for. Like you just said, unprompted, you want to see some, average Joe looking at the product and see it out in the wild. So when you're able to do that, it's a much different experience than having the perfect thumbnail and coming in like you're hosting a show, and showing products like, home shopping or whatever. You tend to feel that the like good quality, but more personable, less edited content tends to do better.
I like that. But that would be the same almost, Dan, across platforms, if that makes sense. Like whether it's TikTok, whether it's Instagram, it seems like some of the social media sites like unedited and more personable type content now more than anything.
But like if you think about YouTube, YouTube has a certain... When TikTok came along, and if anybody who does TikTok don't hate me, but I feel like we're in the realm of the professional time waster. I see these videos that come out on Facebook where they get you to watch for 15 minutes because you think something suspenseful is going to happen.
Listen, Dan, nothing. I hate that.
And nothing really happens. It drives me crazy.
Right.
So and I talk about, at the end of the day, my wife and I will often unwind in bed. We'll each be on our phone flipping through TikTok. It's just mindless content.
Right.
Whereas on YouTube is along the lines of professional time waster. The more time you get people to spend in the video, you can take a simple process that, should take 3 minutes and turn it into a 15-minute video because you're doing transitions, you're telling a backstory, you're trying to make this big production out of it. And one of the things that I appreciate or Amazon over YouTube is that kind of conflicts with my inner monologue. I want to be succinct and to the point and give people the answers that they need as quickly as possible. Amazon, you're rewarded for that. YouTube, you kind of have to do a better job to stretch that out. And I only do that so much on YouTube because I want to keep it as authentic as possible and, get people the information they need without a lot of fluff. So I think in that respect, the different platforms are different. And a lot of the stuff on TikTok may be edited to look like it's matter of fact, but a lot of those have a lot of editing going on in the background.
So would you say that the ROI on Amazon obviously sounds like has been very good compared to YouTube?
For me personally, it has been amazing. And I know for people who are able to just spend their entire day and their entire week doing it, it's amazing. If only we knew they were going to be here for the next 5 years, because you never know where these platforms are going to go. But it would definitely be worth focusing 100% of your energy to make as many videos and cover as much territory as possible on Amazon.
Hey, wow. Listen, I don't know what else you can say about that. We have someone here that has proven himself on YouTube, is a content creator coach, is on Amazon Live. Excuse me, I was going to say Amazon Live, but you're on Amazon creating content for, how would you say it different? Because I am stuck with the Amazon Live. It is called Amazon Video.
So the name that seems to have stuck in most of the areas, because they were calling them Amazon Shorts. They were calling them, I used to refer to them as Amazon Influencer Video because there are video reviews that can be put up.
Right.
But shoppable video is what seems to be the most popular term for it. But yeah, again, it really has to do with there's some long-term benefits that you can see from doing live and getting followers and being a face of an influencer on Amazon. All of the things that, quite frankly, when I started Amazon, I'm not trying to be somebody's personality. I was, just tapping into the opportunity. But there's a ton of upside for doing the live side and creating a following. I've seen, those live streamers get, displayed on multiple channels and have hundreds or thousands of people watching them. And, there's got to be an amazing opportunity when you have that many people watching your live stream who are able to purchase products during your live stream through your live stream.
That is
wow,
awesome.
That's crazy.
So as you're doing videos, is it more product, how to use the products that you do?
So it's it depends on the product. It's a combination, but the optimal way to make an Amazon video from my perspective, and what they kind of encourage you to do, is a single video per product. So a lot of times part of my videos is unboxing. Sometimes I'll talk about the features or why I liked it. I have videos up there that actually don't have me speaking at all. I'm just demonstrating the product. It really depends on the particular product and what I think is most helpful. If it's, a simpler product that there's not a lot to talk about, sometimes I won't even do a voiceover. I will just demonstrate what it looks like and how it comes packaged and those kind of things. But it's basically just, the way I like to refer to it is showing people the product out in the wild. Hey, this is a real person using the real product in hand, and kind of go from there.
So are you staying in a lane, or like tech gear or electronics, or are you just doing anything, salad bowl to dog food? I mean, was it the awesome? Yeah, I mean, the awesome thing about shoppable video is it's everything goes. So awesome.
And I would probably encourage people to not get too niched in on a live stream concept if they do go to live stream route, because there are ebbs and flows in purchasing cycles for all the different categories of products. And sometimes you have products that are absolutely crushing it, and then they disappear, and then they come back. So I think that having kind of a wide array of products in the shoppable video space is going to allow you to kind of pick up on the different seasons and the different promotions. And so you don't go, your highs and your lows aren't too far apart from each other. But yeah, it's anything and everything. And most of us have stuff already in their house that was purchased at Amazon or is available at Amazon. You don't have to have had to. It doesn't have to be purchased from Amazon as long as it's on Amazon. So you can, if you have something got a camera, like say, hey, this is on Amazon, make a video, and then link that to that product on Amazon.
My microphone, my lights, my monitor, everything that I'm looking at on my desk that I bought on Amazon.
Hey, listen.
It's pretty much how we.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say that's pretty much the only place we shop. So we had a lot of stuff to work with.
Hey guys, I'm still going to my front door on a daily basis, looking at my threshold for products, and I haven't even ordered anything. I just look out there to see if something has come that my wife has ordered. You just never know. Like Amazon during the pandemic, it was like Christmas every day. There's a new Amazon box out there with some type of product, and again, that is, like, from my perspective, how I like to shop. And sometimes it's easier, depending on what products or what you're trying to get. It's easier to wait till the next day or two to get a product than it is sometimes to go to Walmart to get it myself. So, hey, I've been using it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd have to drive across town at $4.83 a gallon or whatever it is, and have Amazon pay that fuel.
Exactly.
So you mentioned something before we start with this. You talked about you have a course teaching people how to do it. Dan, we always love to, promote what people are doing. Tell us about how people can find that course on Amazon and get, so they can get involved, whether it's the live or it's the shoppable videos.
So when I started doing the Amazon shoppable videos, I started to see all the potential. And so I purposely waited until I had achieved 100x revenue as compared to my affiliate that I had been making on Amazon. So I started a course called Influencer 100x, and it's all about how to get approved for the shoppable videos, and not only for the shoppable videos, but how to get the additional placement. There's a 3 strikes and you're out rule. You have to submit 3 videos and get them approved, and they have to be made a certain way so that they don't reject them. If they reject you 3 times, then you don't get to apply anymore. So I wanted to make sure people knew exactly what to do to get approved, because once they get approved, they can tap into all this and really make a lot of money. So it's influencer100x.com where they can sign up for that course.
I love it. I love it. So Chris Stone actually chimes in and saying, hey, this is good stuff, and that he's waiting to see you at VidFest in May to talk about this. So thanks, Chris, for actually putting that in the chat so we can actually talk about you're now traveling and speaking with this as well. There's so much going on here, Dan.
Yeah, to our conversation earlier, he's like, when I was having the conversation with Chris, it's like, nobody's really, we have a lot of, they were signing up speakers and nobody's really talking about video yet. And I'm like, definitely, I think video needs a place in the talk about Amazon, because there's just so much potential. And I think that, like, Amazon Live kind of came out first, or less, at least it felt like that. And initially, their app, they put out a live streaming app that you could use right on your phone to do it. So it's definitely picked up a lot of momentum ahead of the video. But I think I've seen a lot of the live streamers starting to tap into the video as well. And in some cases, they're now forming their live streams so that they can repurpose them and chop them up and make them shoppable videos. So it's the Wild West out there right now, ton of opportunity, but we can't wait to share it with people. And we're going to be talking about it down at VidFest in May.
Awesome. I want to shout out Melvin Miller, who's hanging out with us today. He says, hello, gentlemen. Thank you, Melvin, for chiming in. And we have to have your setup on our show really, really soon. Thinking about someone like Melvin, who is a teacher, but also a content creator. He's a musician as well. Helping these content creators, or our content creators that are watching this, get to the next step. Dan, knowing what it really takes in 2022 to be a content creator that can actually garner an audience and get visible. Can you tell us, like, some of the things that are not as spoken about in the content creation world that people need to be aware of once they get started?
So in the content world, in YouTube and other places, and I'll talk more on the YouTube side because that's kind of what my familiarity is. We get really caught up in things like the algorithm and what we're supposed to be doing and what works the best. And I think I had a pretty good lesson in the past year while I was focusing more on Amazon. What had actually happened to me is my channel started to kind of fade off, and some of my more popular videos had kind of decreased a little bit. And in my mind, even with all I know, I'm like, I'm going to focus more of my energy on Amazon. And after doing that, and there's a company called TubeBuddy puts out this end of the year totals. They show you how much you earned and how much your channel earned. And despite what I thought was a decline, I basically did the math and said, hey, you know what? If I had ignored the decline and just made as many videos this past year as I did in previous years, I would have had about the same performance in the previous year or as previous years. So I think too often we talk ourselves out of success by thinking that there's some external factor that we can't control. And maybe that influences our ability to continue to make content. But the reality is, if you are consistent and you persevere and you just keep making content and don't worry about all the reasons it's going to be successful or fail or not be what you want it to be, over time, it all balances out, and each one of those videos is a win. Each time you upload, it's a win, and they stack up regardless of what the algorithm is doing. It builds your library out there. It builds your credibility, and all those things open opportunities to us on both the revenue side, and in other areas in the community. So I think if nothing else, if you ignore everything and you just try to make better videos each time and don't use your numbers as a gauge of what you should do next, I think you will find success.
Wow. Dan, that's the first time I've heard something like that.
Right. Everybody's always trying to hit the numbers, right? I mean, I think I fall to that.
Yeah. And I mean, it's nobody's fault to do that, because there are certain things that work, and you see these flashy, sexy things that come out and say, oh, well, look what this channel did because they tapped into suggested video and they got 1 million views and hit, 1 million subscribers in under a year. There's all those stories out there that just make you feel like you're not doing enough. And the reality is, a lot of those people have teams that are doing all the things you can't possibly do as an individual. And a lot of that sizzle that they're selling is not based on a solo creator, which a lot of us are. Right. So maybe you have, a couple people who are helping you out as a team, but I think people get too caught up in looking at, hey, what does a successful business with a team of people accomplish on a platform, and think that they can somehow replicate that. And even those companies, I mean, like, there's really big companies out there that are changing thumbnails like in the first 30 minutes to an hour and having a bunch of variations based on how YouTube is responding. And it's just a massive amount of effort to do that. And I think that if you just keep making content and you work to get better at your content, you're going to find your space out there, whatever that happens to be. And if you're not happy with where it was last year, then you just step it up a little bit. You find a way to make an improvement, and you just work your way up from there, rather than trying to figure out exactly how you're going to be that 1 million subscriber guy overnight. And I think that causes more problems than it solves for us.
I just want to say that's information. Not a lot of people share that honesty. I'm one of the first people to always say, whether it's Ninja or Mr. Beast or whoever you want to point to, they all have a team of, people behind them doing a lot of this editing, because it is, it is realistic to do this as a solo career, but I think your expectations have to be in line with what it is, and it'll help, with your stress and your imposter syndrome and all these other things, to know that it's just, yes, some people get lucky. I know people have been, views on TikTok that didn't do anything else after that. It's just, it's just the way it is. You got to kind of just keep grinding and kind of put your nose down and, keep the faith and keep working.
And a lot of times, oh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I want to interrupt you.
A lot of times people who step in success like that aren't prepared for it, and they don't really know how to capitalize on it. And then that can cause the one of the things I like to say is that success is not measured by your high points, but how you respond to your low points. And I think it's so true, because especially people who step in it like that and have that overnight success, or a video blows up, if you don't know how to capitalize on that and make some follow-up videos and try to tap that for all it's worth, you're going to have that low, and it's going to be a really low point because of the high that you just experienced.
Right.
We all feel like experts and that we have all the answers when our channel is kicking butt and all the numbers are setting new records. But what happens when your channel just stops responding? No matter what you do, it feels like you're putting out videos and people are unsubscribing and your channel is shrinking or not growing as fast. What do you do then? Because the people who succeed on YouTube are the people who are prepared for that or can recover from that, such that they continue to move forward. And those are the people that you hear about eventually, and we think they're overnight successes, but they're just the people who persevered and continue to make content even when they didn't have a good day.
Listen, like Brant, I'm falling in love with Dan. I love this. I really do. I like it's the honest truth about anything that you're going to do that's meaningful and worthwhile. It is a absolute grind. All right. You have to make the content. And I want to say something really quick to credit Dave. He says, Brant, you look a little more crispy today. You know what I'm saying? It looks really good today. So shouts out to credit Dave. And then also Melvin Miller. He says, sometimes just creating is the success. All right. You can get overwhelmed by all the talk about the algorithm and how to make the right thumbnail, which I love making thumbnails. But, sometimes that could be a lot for people, Dan, for if they're thinking about it over and over again. And the idea is, if you are making content, it is to watch, because you want to be sure that the audience that you are trying to make content to, that you can connect with them. If you have something that does connect with them, that you can double down on that and be prepared. How important is it? And then I may have missed another comment that I need to throw up, Brant, but I want to ask this question there. How important is it in your preparation to be prepared for the success? I think you may have alluded to it just a little bit, but all the other things that go along with being a content creator that, sometimes you say, hey, we need this, you need that, you need ways that people can contact you, you need to be in the contacts or the comments and talking to people. How important are some of those other things in your preparation for your success?
Well, I think sometimes we get a little confused by like what is success? So yes, all of those things are definitely important. Knowing what a mailing list is, having a way for people to engage with you. In a perfect world, if you have a video takeoff, you have some type of product that's going to help those people elevate whatever it is that you're talking about, and you're going to be able to channel some of those people to a solution that helps you financially, but also, enhances what it is that they're trying to do. But, I was thinking about success the other day, and I had kind of this thought that felt deep to me at the time, that success is not a destination, but success is the pursuit of happiness. Because if you're doing things that you think are successful based on what other people perceive of you, like I want to have a lot of money or I want to be famous, then you're not really heading in a successful direction. But if you are truly trying to establish a life that is your happiness, that you enjoy doing, waking up for every morning, then you're already successful. You're already heading in the right path. And I think for too many people, they're trying to reach success rather than setting up the environment around them to be successful.
Listen,
Very, very good.
Brant, I told you, man. Like I've already said it. I don't know. I'm just gonna have to just ask the questions, and I'm gonna go back and watch this myself. This is some good stuff.
I think that what's refreshing about it is that you're being super honest. I think that we all understand that we, as technology has progressed and social media comes along, we're all looking for that instant gratification, right? Got to have it that same day on Amazon, or order that movie on Netflix tonight, and we've kind of got, but I think it's always been that way. Whether I was a filmmaker, right? The next film was going to be the Oscar-winning performance, or if you're a musician, it's going to be the first thing you ever did. You're going to be a success, and if you don't get that gratification, you quit. And I think I've done it. In YouTube, I've started and stopped a podcast 100 times. You get initial excitement and then nothing, right? And then you start going, oh man, I've been working so hard. I put so much effort, and so I think that, that is something that we all have to work with personally. And I think Dan is just, keeping it real, that you can't blame the algorithm, and you can't, blame the courses you did or didn't take. You just have to buckle down and do the work, and, be aware and fix what's broken and get better along the way.
Yeah, and I mean, we all have stuff. We all have so many things that are going on in our lives that are separate from this. So, while we try to make this a priority as much as possible, there is the real world. So you just have to have everything in perspective and try to do the best you can with the time that you have. You also have to be forgiving to yourself, so you just don't bury yourself in expectations to the point where none of this is enjoyable. The banner across Creator Fundamentals, my YouTube channel, is Create Your Freedom, because that's what drives me, is to help people figure out what their freedom is, whether that's more time with your family, or more money, or whatever it is. But I want to help people build systems that allow them to not trade every hour for every dollar. That's why I focus on passive income and multiple revenue streams and all those things, because I want people to actually make their lives better, not just chase this YouTube fame or, whatever else it is that they think successful looks like.
That being said, and I'm eating all of this up, Dan. I really am. I mean, Brant and I, during the week, we get a chance. We've been busy for the last couple of months, but normally we just chit-chat like schoolgirls during the week about all of this stuff with content creation and the whole economy around it. And some of the things that you're saying, we've had conversations about it, because you can get so caught up in the numbers. But what is your definition of success? I mean, you said that earlier, like what's going to make you successful. I don't think that having a YouTube channel with 100,000 subscribers automatically, is success. Because for whatever reason, you could have, it could be 500,000 for someone that's success, subscriber-wise, based on the money they put into it. They could be looking for something completely different. Now, a lot of the people that we have are new, and I want to transition just a little bit while I have you and while people are kind of engaged here about how they can connect with you. Because you're teaching these things, and I guarantee you, like I said, Brant and I talk about it all the time, but if someone wants to know more about your coaching, get more information from your YouTube channel, be involved with what you're doing based off what you said today, how can they do that?
So I have finally organized all of this stuff in a central location at courierlinks.com, which is my last name. And the word links. So that's where everything is organized. Everything from the latest video on YouTube to my course on Amazon, link to People of Video, which is my conference coming up in September, as well as a bunch of other things in between all of that. So that is where they can pretty much find all my socials and everything else at courierlinks.com.
And you kind of pitched it out there, man. People of Video 2021. We had a chance to look at some of that. Ecamm was involved with what you were doing there. Anna and Fulgens was there, and I think Doc Rock was there. Diana Gladney was there. Tell us your experience. Was that the first one in person, or it was definitely since the pandemic? Tell us about how that went for you.
So just, real quick, the original one that was supposed to be in person was in 2020. We all know how that unfolded. Right. So last year, 2021, was in fact our first in-person conference. It was awesome. Like you said, Ecamm was there, and I'm excited that Ecamm is the title sponsor for People of Video this year. So super excited to work with their team again. It was just an awesome experience with their entire team. They did a live kind of a truncated live stream where we were able to share some interviews with our speakers out to virtual ticket holders. So that was fantastic. They're, super professional. Ecamm is just an amazing software, and they pull it all together so seamlessly. So shout out to Ecamm for sure. And yeah, we are super excited to have them as the title sponsor and what that means for the conference, and to be able to see all of them again this year in September. So I think it's a great marriage between the two. What we're trying to achieve at People of Video is bring an East Coast presence to helping content creators get to learn from experts, people who've already walked the path and been successful at it, and do so on the East Coast without having to travel across the country to learn in person.
Gotcha.
Now, what about the VidFest someone mentioned in May? Where is that located?
VidFest, I'll be speaking down in Florida. That is down,
Okay.
I think it's in Orlando.
Very good, very good.
So 2022 in September, this is the next time people could do People of Video. What could they expect this year?
So we already have an awesome lineup of speakers. Doc Rock and Diana Gladney will be back as speakers. We're excited to have them. We're also going to have Tim Schmoyer, Owen Video, Jessica Stansberry, and a variety. Dale Roberts is going to be our MC again. He brought a ton of energy last year, and we're excited to have him back. But yeah, I mean, it's just there's going to be probably around 12 speakers over the course of 2 days. It is September 19th through the 21st, with 19th kind of being a registration day, and then 2 full days of educational content on the 20th and 21st. And yeah, I mean, we had such great feedback from last year. We were able to bring back some great speakers and also add some new ones this year. And it's just all about the kind of the synergy that happens when you're in a room full of like-minded people. We all do this on the internet. It feels good. We make friends. But in a lot of cases in our communities, there's people that we've never actually met in person. This is an opportunity to get everybody there. And, the side conversations as well as the speakers, it's just all powerful stuff. And we talked earlier about trying to get that motivation. Right. You don't come out of a conference like this without being totally pumped and ready to just go out there and kill it. So, we're excited to give everybody that opportunity in Albany, New York in September.
I'm excited about it. I will tell you this. It's on my list of things to do this year. I saw it last year, and I was like, man, I really want to go to New York for this. So I'm hoping that we could be there with you, because I just like the idea. I like what we saw. It just to me, it has a great feel. And tonight, having a chance to correspond with you and how you answered all these questions, again, I'm just at all at how you're presenting this information different from some of the other content coaches that we know. Brant said it earlier. It's just being honest and authentic to what it really takes. People like to tell you how you could do it, and they eliminate the hard work behind it. But you definitely shared that there's some work that comes to being a content creator. There are different ways to do it, and through Amazon Shoppable that you talked about today versus some of the lines. But I'm just really at all at the wisdom you shared today, and man, I'm gonna be in the replay game, Brant. I'm gonna be watching this again, taking my notes.
You have to cut this up.
Yeah. So one of the things he said, you got to cut it up. One of the things that we are doing now is making sure that we repurpose. And you've given me a lot to repurpose this week to actually add to our videos. So if we have a live stream that's 60 minutes, and now we can do 4 or 5 different 5-minute repurposing videos. So where we were just doing one video a week on YouTube, now we can be up to at least 6 videos in a week on YouTube, but then dial in what those videos are about. Because we just talk about one segment is on Amazon Shoppable. It's just that piece that now we can do the description, the title of it the right way to actually, get it in the YouTube, visible on YouTube just for that particular thing. So we're learning on our side, how to take this live stream to make it really work for us.
Yeah, you can never upload too much content, so.
That's true.
There you go.
That's true. All right. Well, Dan, man, you've done an excellent job for us today presenting this material. I want to go back to one thing, which is how people can connect with you so that as people are watching this, we can add all these folks to People of Video, add all these folks to what you're doing as a content coach. So can you give us the information one more time?
Absolutely. Head over to courierlinks.com. That's my last name, Currier, links.com. That's where I have everything organized. You can go pick up tickets to People of Video, come see us in person and hang out. We're looking forward to having an awesome event this year. If you're looking for some help on Amazon, the link is there as well. The latest video on YouTube, the link to the graphics website that we do. All of the things are out there and available in that one place for you. So I'd love to meet you. I'd love to see some people in person at the event as well.
Sounds great. Well, if you'll hold what you got, Dan, for just a second, we're going to go into behind the streams from Ecamm. So this is an opportunity for us to show other Ecamm users how uniquely this young lady is using Ecamm in her setup.
Well, first I have to say thank you to Ecamm because I just love the software.
Hey everybody, welcome to Behind the Stream, powered by Ecamm. I'm Brant Collins, one half of the hosts of the Stream Show with Strick and Brant. In this segment, we like to see all the Ecamm users, get to know them, get to know what they're doing, and kind of see their setups, hopefully to inspire you to level up your stream. And tonight we have Geraldine Wilkins. How are you doing, Geraldine?
I'm wonderful. Hi, Brant. It's good to be here. Thank you for inviting me to share my studio with you.
We're excited. I'm super excited for one because my wife is a big sewer, my mom crochets, so my whole family's into crafting. And one of the things we love doing about this show is we're trying to show different types of uses for Ecamm. So tell us a little bit about how you use Ecamm.
Well, first I have to say thank you to Ecamm because I just love the software. I started with Ecamm Academy back in January of 2021, and I wanted something that was going to allow me to go live, but also record videos and to do it easily straight to my computer. So it has been one of the best decisions that I've made getting Ecamm.
So how are you using it? So you do this as a business? Or are you doing this just for fun? Tell us a little bit about your whole, why you're doing it.
Oh, I use it for business. I'm a professional quilter and quilt designer, and I do a weekly show called Quilt Conversations Live. And I use Ecamm to go live for the show and also to record courses. and to go live for live classes on Zoom.
That is amazing. So you just started, I looked at your website. You've been featured in a lot of quilting magazines. So you're kind of a quilting rock star, but you just got into doing all this on the internet in 2021 as far as the courses and everything.
Yes, it's really amazing. If you knew me before, a couple of years ago, I said I would never go live. I would not do live video. And, the pandemic had a way of changing everyone's mind about that. If you weren't going live, you had to repurpose and look at your business from another angle. And that's what I did. I said, well, I have to go live. How am I going to do it?
So were you teaching classes in person?
Yes, my business is teaching classes in person at quilt shows, with guilds, at quilt shops, and that ceased in 2020.
Wow. I'm just impressed that you were able to turn and flip on a dime and do this that quick, because I did look at your website. It's very, very professional. You've got all the courses, everything's set up, the design, the branding, everything's on point. It just looks amazing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
So let's do the big part here. This one, we want to see what you use for your daily setup. So if you will give us a tour of your setup, kind of start us with, well, obviously you're using an Apple product. So what computer are you using for that?
I'm using the Mac M1 Mini.
Okay. And did you get the 8
did try to
gigabytes?
use a laptop. I'm sorry. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, did you get the 8 gigabytes or the 16 gigabytes RAM or?
16 gigabytes.
Oh, there you go. Good.
Yeah.
And you were
Initially,
saying,
I tried to go with a laptop, but that just didn't work. It
Wasn't
was an
powerful
old
enough?
laptop, wasn't powerful enough.
Awesome. That is awesome. So I'm going to switch the screen here. If you can kind of show us around and maybe show us, let's say, start with your lights and kind of show us around your cameras and your microphones and how that's working.
See if I can back up a little bit. I have a pair of Neewer lights with soft boxes that I attached to the wall. It was critical because I'm using a space that is my quilting studio, and it's a small space. So I didn't have any floor space. I had to mount them on the wall.
Gotcha.
Then I have a microphone that's on an arm. It's usually out of shot, but I prefer it that way, and it works well for me. I am using the Mac Mini. It's over here in the corner.
There we go.
There we go. And a wavelength so I can have multiple monitors. And I've gotten these all at different stages in my live streaming journey. The teleprompter and the stream deck that you see here, those came later in my journey. Just last fall, I got these, and it's made a world of a difference.
Awesome. And what cameras are you using?
I'm using a digital SLR camera. I'm repurposing most of the old technology as much as I can. I decided that I would try and use those first. So the 3 cameras that I use is one, the Logitech, where I'm showing you my space. I use a smartphone for my overhead scenes, and then I'm using for my teleprompter a Nikon D7200, and it's an older, very old model.
That's good.
Yeah, but it's working.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Using a dummy battery, and everything is working well for me.
What kind of microphone are you using there? That doesn't look familiar to me.
It's a beginner microphone. Again, I started off with a Fee-Fine microphone. It's just a whole kit. Everything came with this particular microphone.
Nice. Yeah, that helps when you're starting out to get a kit that has the arm, the microphone, kind of everything you need.
Yes, exactly. And I'm just using a regular foldable collapsible table. I had to bring this in right in the middle of my studio. You can see it's a little cramped, but I'm making it work. There's my sewing space right there.
And so how do you have to shift all this around to do demonstrations of your sewing, or are you usually just talking to people?
Well, no, actually wanted to create a space that was permanent, a space that I could come to at any time, whether I'm sewing or quilting or doing a live stream. And so
Gotcha.
this table is right here, smack dab in the middle of the room. I can go around the corner, and I have a second spot where I can attach another camera to my sewing machine, and I have a portable monitor right there. I don't know if you can see it
Yeah,
down
we can
there.
see it. That's awesome.
That's what I use to monitor to make sure what I'm demonstrating is being seen. And so I can easily go live or go back to quilting and sewing when I have to.
That is so good.
I failed to mention I am using a 14 millimeter lens.
Okay.
So it is giving me this nice wide look so that it doesn't look as cramped on screen, even though it is small. And I can, you get this nice wide view. You can see my quilting machine, and behind me, I can change out the quilt because I've taken the stands off the floor and I've mounted a hanging system above me. And behind my quilt is a closet. So I'm making it work.
I think it's an amazing setup. If you don't mind, I'm going to put up here your website. And if you can tell everyone else a little bit more about where we can find out more about you, your courses, and you can share all that. And everyone will have these in the show notes as well. But you can go to her course there. I think she has links to everything.
Yes, I love to teach women who want to go from novice to expert quilter. And I specialize in free motion and machine quilting. It's a technique to help finish your quilts creatively. I always say use the right tool that will help you get success. And so I'm excited to be on Amazon Live as well, sharing these techniques and tools.
That is so amazing. So are you having success with all your online courses and Amazon? Everything's working for you financially?
Things are going well. They're moving forward. I'm excited. The website is brand spanking new. It only launched last July. I have a membership as well. So I have a group of ladies where we meet once a month and we do a lot of in-depth quilting and discussions on quilting.
Thank you so much, Geraldine, for what you do and showing us your stream. I think this is very not only empowering for other people that have, I think sometimes everybody looks at streaming as just camera reviews and tech reviews, but you can take anything that you're passionate about, from quilting, of course, or gardening or anything else, and make content. So kudos to you, and I think you're doing a great job, and thank you for joining us on the stream show.
Well, thank you for having me, and thank you, Ecamm, for helping to make it possible.
All right, thank you, Geraldine, and that's it for Behind the Stream.
There we go. Brant Collins. Man, this has been a great show today. Not only have we had a great guest show behind the scenes or the stream of Geraldine, but man, Dan was awesome.
Yeah, Dan has some really good information. I guess I'll be digging into Amazon Live tomorrow and figure out what it takes to get accepted into the program. I think I'd looked at it and it just seemed like I didn't have enough followers, but I feel like there may be things in there. But I just wanted to say thank you again for Geraldine. I did see that she was in the comments.
She said
thank you so
as
much
well.
for being in the behind the stream, because it is very empowering. It's very moving to me to see what you're doing, to show other people that, you know, no matter what you're doing, the passion that you have for your craft and flipping the typical business plan that you had of visiting people live and streaming and doing that pivot. I think it's very, very inspirational for a lot of other people.
And if you are watching this and you want to be on Behind the Stream, it is really simple. All you have to do is go online to thestreamshow.live, and there's a button that says Be Our Guest. So you can actually come onto the show, show us your Behind the Stream, and then just kind of share with the community what you're doing with Ecamm.
Yeah, just
Am I
fill
right
out
in
the
saying
form
what
there.
that button was that right?
Huh?
The button?
Yeah, it says to be behind the stream, be a guest on behind the stream. So if you'll
Gotcha.
click on that link, there'll be a form that'll ask you to fill out a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you're doing, the gear that you have, and you should get a link to schedule a time with me or Strick to do a interview. Because I think we try to do them during the show, but we're trying to do some one-on-one because we want to give everybody the chance to really show their amazing setups, right? Some people have some really great stuff, and so we've got 4 more in the can that I've done, and you're going to see some great content and some great setups from different people, all doing the same sort of things, but doing it in a different way. And I think that's what's kind of interesting is, you'll find your own way to do stuff. One way to do this. There's different equipment, different mics, different setups, and even sometimes the same equipment, just different inputs and outputs, right? Or how they have it set up. So it's pretty interesting.
Hey, Brant, don't tell anybody, but next Sunday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, we have Professor Nez coming to the stream show.
Very, very good. Professor Nez. He's very, very prolific on YouTube and LinkedIn. I see a lot.
I promise you, another great show is already lining up, guys. So next Sunday, 6 p.m., you got the stream guys, Strick and Brant. He's Brant Collins. I did it right this time.
DJ Strick.
There you go. Thank you guys for hanging out with us.